Hey everyone, welcome back to another video of Vic's Math Corner. As mentioned in the last video, we're eventually building our way up to studying linear equations. But before we do that, we have to cover some preliminary topics, or explore some things that we have to know in order to solve linear equations. So, you may be wondering what this grid is here. This is called a Cartesian plane, or a coordinate plane. Its use is to allow people to plot points or show graphs in a visual manner. So this line, horizontal line that I'm dragging my cursor along is called the x-axis, and this vertical line that I'm dragging my cursor along that's in bold is called the y-axis. I know my graph only stretches to 10 units in each direction, but a true coordinate plane is infinite, or it goes on forever. So every point along this graph can be expressed through what's called an ordered pair. An ordered pair can be thought of as a description of where a point lies. So think of it this way. Just as you would tell the GPS what your preferred destination is, say your home or school, an ordered pair gives a precise description of where a point goes. So the x value will tell you where the point is horizontally, and the y value does the same just for a vertical location. So let's go over one example where we're told to plot the point 2, -3. So how do we approach this? First, we go over to the x-axis and go 2 units to the right to x equals 2. So 1, 2. I usually do this by drawing a line down the middle. That's a little off, but we can move our graph to accommodate for that. Just like this. Perfect. And so that satisfies the x requirement. But the y requirement, it has to be at y equals -3. So I do the same thing, draw a line. That one was a lot better. So we've gone over 2 units to where x equals 2, and we've gone down 3 units to y equals -3. So the intersection of these two lines, or right here, where I'm zooming in and where I'm putting this point, is where the point 2, -3 lies. So that's a pretty simple example, but we can go over another one just in case. So we have another coordinate plane right here, and in this situation we're being told to plot the point -5, -10. So they're saying x is equal to -5. So just as we did for the last example, let's go 5 units to the left, right? Because x equals -5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and draw our line. Okay. And now they're saying y is equal to -10. So what we have to do is look vertically to where this vertical value is equal to -10. So what we can do is we can go to where y is 0 and then go count all the way down till we get -10, which is this line right here. So using red, I'm going to show where this is. Okay, that was off, but we can do the little trick I did in the first example. Great. So once again, where the two lines meet, or the intersection, is where the point -5, -10 is. So let's move on to another topic. You'll often hear the word thrown around, quadrant. Let me write that out for you all. Quadrant. So they divide the coordinate plane into 4 equal portions, and all of them are infinite, like I mentioned. So this is quadrant 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So as you can see, the convention is to use Roman numerals, and they go in a counterclockwise manner, right? Because it goes the opposite direction of how a clock goes. So an interesting thing about the quadrant, it's not some arbitrary piece of information. It actually gives you details about what the point is. So if it's in quadrant 1, you can see that the x values, say for example 2 or 3, as well as the y values, have to be positive. So let's look at a point in the first quadrant. So this point here looks like 1, 2. So what we notice about all points in this first quadrant is that they have a positive x value and a positive y value. Now let's move on to the second quadrant. The second quadrant, if we plot, say, the point right here, -3, 3, -3 for the x is a negative x value. Sorry about that. It's a negative x value, but it's still a positive y value. Now the third quadrant, say the point here, is -4, -3, and as you can see, both of them are negative. That looks like a cool drawing there. And lastly, if we go to the fourth quadrant, say 5, -1, you can see that the x is positive, but the y is again negative. So another term you'll hear thrown around a lot is the origin, and the origin is where the axes meet, or where x is 0 and y is 0. So this point that I'm circling right now is called the origin, and I'll write it out right here. So that's all for today. Just to recap, we learned how to plot points, and we learned what the quadrants are as well as the origin. So hopefully you liked this video. Please stay tuned, and I'd appreciate it if you watch the next video. Thanks.